Hey guys, we're back today with another rating Lorcana cards. Today we have a former Pokemon player and Yu-Gi-Oh player, Bradley Liebold. Brad, how's it going today?
Doing good. It's an awesome day. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Brad and I used to play test Pokemon together. Like how long ago now? Like 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Something like probably closer to 8 now, because that was the Seismitoad days.
That was the Seismitoad days. Yeah, we would play test Pokemon together and like share like notes back and forth for like tournaments and stuff like that. Did you ever cut anything big during Pokemon?
Nothing really huge, but I went to St. Louis and at the nationals there, and my like the highest placing, I was like in table 98, and that was pretty crazy. But then I got two of my auto losses back to back, and
Rough.
just kind of. But it is what it is. It was a fun time, but
And then
nothing crazy. I was just more of a casual, really,
and then you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the recent times.
forever. Yeah,
And
but I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for probably 20 years now,
okay,
realistically.
and you said you looked into Lorcana a little bit today just to kind of get a feel of it. But
Yep, definitely had to because it's super interesting, and I've seen it all around in the local stores. So,
all right, so we'll send you the first card that we're going to talk about, and I'll kind of explain to you the game as we go. So the first card I'm going to send you here is Beast Tragic Hero. So
ooh,
in the upper left-hand corner of Beast, you'll see its ink cost. That's what it costs to play the card.
right,
I'm sure you noticed in the videos, people would reveal cards from their hand that had that gold symbol around the ink cost. That means it's
right, and you can just
inkable.
kind of play those in your mana pool, essentially, right?
Right, yeah. So you would play that into your ink
It's
pool.
essentially just like they call it your ink pool, right?
Yeah, your inkwell. You'd
Excuse
play
me.
this into your inkwell, and then you could tap them or exert them, as it's called in Lorcana, to play the cards. So
Exert,
exert, right. So Beast is a
cool.
5 ink inkable. He is a steel ink. So in your decks, you can have two different inks. There's 5 inks total, each having their own strength and weaknesses. Beast is a steel.
Mhm.
He's 3 attack or strength and 5 willpower. That's his defense.
Oh, okay, I
He
got you.
he has a shift ability for 3, which means if you already have a beast character in play, you could pay 3 ink instead of the 5 to play him on top of that character.
Oh, oh,
Okay. Uh, the 2 diamonds to the
you can
left of
cheat him out a little bit with that, huh?
yep. The 2 diamonds to the right of that is his lore total. What that means is that's how much lore
Hmm.
you gain if you were to go on a quest. So to go on a quest, you would exert the character, meaning you tap it sideways, and you gain the 2 lore.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, nice.
and the thing about exerting a character is if a character is exerted on the opponent's turn, it can be challenged, which means that you can exert your character
Oh.
to fight them. You cannot challenge characters that are not exerted. So if you exert the beast, he can be challenged, or you can challenge with him. Okay, and
Oh,
then
wow, that's a really cool mechanic.
yeah, it's a great mechanic. And then the beast's ability is it's better this way. At the start of your turn, if this character has no damage, draw a card. Otherwise, he gets +4 strength this turn. What do we think of Beast?
Whoa, that +4 is crazy. So let's see. So at the start of your turn, so that's crazy. So you actually get a lot of benefit from not exerting this guy for a while, huh? So or like a
Potentially.
turn or two at least. That's crazy.
Hmm.
And you can cheat him out pretty well if you get the first one out too. And then that +4 is insane.
Yep.
So let me get this right. So you can take like say a monster or a character, I should say, with like an attack of 2 hits him, it'll like make his defense or willpower 3. Am I understanding how that kind of
So
works?
if he takes any amount of damage, his strength becomes 7, and his willpower will be whatever damage. So if he took 1 damage, he'll be a 7/4 then, because damage stays forever.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Hmm. Awesome. That is a very strong card.
So we'll do like ratings out of 10.
Okay.
If you had to assign Beast a rating out of 10, where are you going with Beast?
Well, it is number one that I've seen, so we're gonna keep it kind of fair or minimal. So I'm gonna say probably like a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10.
Because I don't know, I feel like there probably be a more busted things to come, but that feels like a very powerful card.
So Beast is the best card in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the best card in the
So
game.
that's what I was.
Yeah, and he's the most
Sorry.
expensive card in the game. The reason is he's always doing something for you. So at the start of your turn, if he's not damaged, you're drawing an extra card. If he has
Right.
damage, he has extra strength to challenge characters. There's never a point in time when Beast is on your board when he's not absolutely bonkers. And the thing about it is, this shift for 3 never happens. You just pay the 5 ink for him every time.
Oh, right, because you really never get the second one out. You just
Yeah,
get one, and it's pretty much
there's no beasts that cost less than him that are even
okay.
worth playing, really. But this guy on 5, he's just good enough.
Okay,
He's either drawing you extra
I'm with you.
cards, which is
He's
awesome.
worth the cost.
Yeah, absolutely worth the cost. So I'll give you a point for Beast because you said he was good.
That's insane.
So yeah,
He's very strong. Like I can tell he's very strong. I just wanted to give myself some wiggle room, just in case.
just a hedge. Yeah, I like starting off with
But
Beast
yeah,
just to kind of set the tone a little bit. This is the best card in the game. He's actually the most expensive
that's
card in the game too. To get a Beast, I'll set you back like $50.
awesome. Oh wow,
It's
that's pretty. That's yeah,
so
that's a pretty penny.
needless to say, I don't have any.
And what usually do you play this guy at? Usually like a card count of 4.
Yeah, you play him as some decks play him as a card count of 2. A lot of decks do 4. It really depends on the deck. Not every deck wants to play 4 of
Mm-hmm.
Beast, and almost not every Steel deck plays him either. But the decks that want him like really enjoy having him.
Okay.
All right,
Cool.
this
Yeah, that's a
card.
very like strong card.
I'm gonna see if you recognize this card from anywhere because you've played a lot of the games. This is a whole new world. A whole new world is a 5 ink uninkable, so you cannot put it into your inkwell. It is a song card, which is actions
Mm-hmm.
are basically like spells, essentially. But this is a
Right.
subset of actions called songs. What makes songs different is you can exert a character to sing them for free. So, for example, if you had the Beast in play, because Beast costs 5, you can exert the Beast and play a whole new world for free. A whole new world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a great mechanic. So, a whole new world reads each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards.
Each player.
Hmm.
Woohoo! So it's a sycamore on steroids.
It is a sycamore
Dang.
on steroids, but it's also a 1-to-1 analogy of a Magic the Gathering card.
Really?
Yeah, Wheel of
I'm not.
Fortune.
I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, really?
Yeah, Wheel of Fortunes. Each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards.
So this is a form of hand disruption as well.
I can be sure.
I don't like that it gives my opponent 7 cards, but if it's what I need to give me the push to win, I give it a 5. 5 out of 10.
Okay. This card is actually probably closer to like a 8 or a 9 out of 10. The reason being is one, the hand disruption is really, really good. Even if your opponent is drawing 7 cards, like if you're like an aggro deck that's gonna like vomit your hand out, and your opponent has like 6 or 7 cards in hand, it doesn't matter. They've mulliganed for the hand that they want, and
Okay.
if you're gonna rifle through your hand and then sing this with your character, and then have a fresh set of 7 cards and all of your ink to play whatever you want. It's pretty insane. I was playing a game earlier today where I was holding cards that I wanted. There were the only 3 cards in the deck that I needed, and they whole new rolled away, and I just had to scoop right then and there. So that hand disruption can
Okay.
be very powerful. But yeah,
So yeah, like just from basing on my TCGs, that would be detrimental.
yeah.
Like I don't want to give them 7, so
Well,
that makes a lot of sense from
yeah.
that point.
So unlike Pokemon, where if like you get stuff in your discard pile, you can always get it back later with like Versus Seekers or whatever. Lorcana
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really have that. There's no way once something's in
Oh,
your discard pile, it basically lives there. It's not like
gone.
Yu-Gi-Oh
So
where
it's like
that's
old
like
school
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh in that sense.
yeah. In Yu-Gi-Oh, your discard pile is like a second hand. You could just keep ripping
Mm-hmm.
stuff out of there. Not really with Lorcana.
Right. Awesome.
All right, so
Okay, so with taking that into account, that'll be interesting to work with from now on too. Okay.
okay, so let's go with the next one here. Let me find them so I can send it to you. Okay, this is the next one. This is Chernobog Evildoer. He is a 10 ink uninkable 9/9, and now we're into our amber cards. So he is an amber, it's a different ink color. Chernobog Evildoer. For each character card in your discard, you pay one less ink to play this character. So if you have 10 characters in your discard pile, Chernobog is free. When you play
Oh,
this character, shuffle all character cards from your discard pile into your deck, and he quests for 3.
9/9.
That's a big boy.
That is a very large man. Jeez. Let's see. So he can be cheated out depending on how aggressive your deck is built, and it recurs everything. So,
Yeah.
man, that's like in my opinion, that's like a 9. This dude's crazy. Depending on the right facilitators, of course.
Yeah.
But just on himself, if you can get him out, that's an insane. That dude's power level's out there.
So we're going with a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I like this card.
Okay. This card is like a 2 out of 10. It is.
Really?
It is.
Wow, that's insane.
It's
That's
very bad.
crazy to think of how Lorcana works like this.
So the
That's
biggest thing is he's uninkable. So if he's in your
right.
hand early, he's stuck there for like ever.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like dead in your
Right.
hand. And then you could play him once, and then you shuffle all your cards back in, and then any other Chernobog you
And
have
that's
is now
all he has.
dead in your hand.
Dead.
Right. If he
Right.
was inkable, like if you could put him into your ink pile, this card would be insane. It would be busted.
I'm with it. Because then you have multifaceted
Yeah, he's
use. I'm with it. Okay.
yeah, he's more flexible that way. So this card, as is very inflexible. He's a
Mm-hmm.
very bad card. All right, we're gonna go with the next
I'm
one
with it
here.
now.
I gotta make sure I send you the right one. I have so many cards here from all the other ones I did.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so we are gonna start off here with Ariel, Singing Mermaid. She is a 4 ink 3/3 singer 7, which means she counts as 7 to sing songs, and she quests for 2.
This character counts as a cost 7.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 7 to use songs with
So
her.
yeah, for example, if you had a song that cost 7 ink, you could then exert Ariel to sing it for free, and she only costs 4.
Oh Jesus! Oh yeah, she's good. This card is good.
So yeah, she
So
could
I'm
sing
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one's a 7.5.
7.5.
This one is, yeah, because she's a low cost summon, inkable, 3/3 body. Plus, you can cast strong songs using her as your facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Plus the two
2 lore.
lore.
Yeah.
That's not bad to build up with.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's a 7.5 at least.
This card sucks.
Wow!
And I'm gonna
How
show
does she suck? That's crazy.
I'm gonna show you why. I kind of cheated here a little bit.
I'm loving this because I'm learning so much about like how the game is so
Well,
different from how I would think of it.
I'm gonna show you why this card is bad. I'm gonna send you another card. So this is Ariel, Spectacular Singer. She is a 3 ink singer 5 that lets you look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal a song and put it into your hand. Now, the difference is there's not much difference between singer 5 and singer 7 for the songs you can sing. So all the songs you want to sing are 5 or less. Like A Whole New World
So you'd
costs
rather
5.
just have 5, right?
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
the most expensive song you're going to sing, generally speaking, is like 5. So that extra couple on the singer doesn't really matter.
It's not really necessary.
Yeah, and that musical debut is really what makes this Ariel so much better. Like if this Ariel didn't exist, that other Ariel, the Singing Mermaid, would probably see play.
Right. That makes sense then, because this guy totally makes.
Yeah, this card is
Singing Mermaid. Just leave her in the bulk pile.
Yeah, Spectacular Singer.
Yeah,
is
musical debut. Oh my god! Like that's just trainer's mail, dude.
It's
I love
trainer's mail. Yeah, I mean
I
sometimes
love
it whips
trainer's
though.
mail. Like, if I would have saw this card first and then that card, man, I'd be like, why would you even touch this card? But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you now. That's crazy. I'm
yeah,
loving this. I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna play this game.
yeah.
This
It's trainer's mail, but on
is
a
so
body. It's
cool.
awesome.
I'm
All right.
loving it. And
Let,
3 defense is really nice too. Kind of bulk.
yeah. I got to do these out of order, actually. Hold on. Uh, let me move these down a little bit here. I forgot I'm going to change up the order. My apologies. Okay, we're
No,
gonna
you're
do
fine. I'm
this.
having fun with it.
Okay, we'll do this one next. Let me see if it's sent. All right, so this one here, we're going to go on to Ruby. This is Flynn Rider Frenemy. He is a 2 ink inkable 2/2. His ability is Narrow Advantage. At the start of your turn, if you have a character in play with more strength than each opposing character, gain 3 lore. So it's just a
At the
static
start of
lore
your
gain.
turn. I don't see that why. I don't have any reason why that would be bad. He's easy. He's inkable. 2/2.
Mm-hmm.
2 cast. I don't like. Let's put him. I say a 5. I
5?
don't see why he's not like. I don't feel like he seems like he would quickly win you the game.
Yeah,
So that gives him, let's say, 6.5.
6.5. Okay. So Flynn Rider came out in set 4, and I should mention that we're recording this video after set 5 has released, so some of these might not be as accurate as they are in a few weeks. Set 5 just came out like yesterday, so we have no idea what's
Okay.
going on. But this guy came out in set 4. Before set 4, decks were built like certain ways, right? And then this guy comes out, and then like 6 or 7 decks had to change how they were built to compensate for this guy. He absolutely warped the meta. So
He
this,
warped it on.
yeah, this guy is very good because if he comes down on turn 3 and you cannot answer him, it's just 3 lore, 3 lore, 3 lore passively with nothing you could do about it. So decks like
Yeah,
Ruby
it's 3 turns,
Sapphire,
9, and you're probably gaining it with other
yeah,
things. Oh, yeah, that snowballs really fast.
yeah, this card single-handedly flipped a matchup. Like Ruby Sapphire used to be like a matchup that would be favored for Ruby Sapphire, and then other Ruby
Mm-hmm.
decks became favored once they started including this one. So yeah, this card is nuts.
And I assume, and this, does it stack?
Oh, if you have multiple of them, yeah,
Oh, God, okay. That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. If you have 2
And
Flins
being a
out,
2-drop, that's easy peasy then.
oh yeah, he comes down second turn of the game. It's almost like you have to if you're playing against Ruby, you have to mulligan for Flynn on 2.
Okay.
Or else you can lose on turn like 2 or 3 if you don't have an answer to the Flynn Rider.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's busted then.
Yeah, he's really, really good. All right, we're going to show you the next one here. This one, we're going 0 to hero. This is Hercules,
Hercules!
Daring Demigod. Hercules is a 5 ink, uninkable 7/3. So he's got an ability called Rush, which means this character can challenge the turn that they're played. So just like Magic the Gathering, these things have, it's called drying.
Ace.
Yeah, so it's drying. So when they come into play, they can't exert. The next turn they can exert. They can challenge, they can quest, whatever. This guy can
Mm.
challenge only the turn he comes into play. He also has reckless, which means he cannot quest and must challenge each turn if able.
Ooh. But he's beefy, though.
He is a big boy. He's basically 5 ink, 7 damage on the spot.
But he's uninkable.
He is uninkable.
I'm gonna say a 4.
You say a 4 out of 5. You would be right. This
Yeah.
card is very bad, but I'm going to show you exactly why this card isn't very good. Because if this card was in a vacuum, this card
He'd be really strong.
is actually very good. But this card exists. Maui, which
Of
is a
course, the other demigod, huh?
yep, which is a 5 ink inkable rush with reckless, and that inkable makes all the difference. Maui being inkable versus Hercules being uninkable makes
Mm.
Maui like one of the best cards in Ruby Control, and Hercules basically useless. Because if you open up with a Maui in your hand, you can just ink him. You can just put it in your
Mm-hmm.
inkwell. Hercules, he's stuck there till at least turn 5.
Right. and that is no good. Yeah. All right. So I'm
All right.
picking up on what really kind of makes strength in Lorcana here.
All right. So now I'm going to show you the first location card you're going to see today.
Ooh.
So this is Fang. Fang is a 4 ink inkable. It is a 6 willpower, which means you can challenge it, and it takes 6 damage to banish it. The icon on the left there is how much ink it costs to move a character there, so you could pay 2 ink to move a character to the location. And
Okay.
here, the ability is surrounded by water. Characters gain ward and evasive while here. Opponents can't choose them except to challenge. Only characters with evasive can challenge them. So basically, the characters that are there become very hard to deal with. And at the start of your turn, it gains you 2 lore passively.
Pass. Man, this is a 9 out of 10. Easily.
Just that quick, 9 out of 10.
This is crazy. Inkable, passive, man. Like, dude, get out of town. Okay,
Okay.
is there a way to like accelerate ink to your inkwell?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Love it. Oh yeah, this is a 9 out of 10 at least in my opinion.
Okay.
This is
So you remember the old magic memes, dies to Doomblade?
yeah.
Yeah, this dies to Maui.
Of course it does.
It's garbage. Yeah, yeah. This is that 6 willpower is like basically the breakpoint for
Oh right,
locations.
because it's right there, just waiting to get mollywopped, isn't it?
Yeah, Maui will just you play this on 4. Maui comes out. You've paid 4 ink for your opponent to develop a Maui and for you to do nothing. So,
That
um,
makes sense.
yeah, that.
In a vacuum, it'd be all right,
Oh,
but
in a
because
vacuum, this is
Maui's here.
crazy. Yeah, but because of Maui, yeah, this doesn't really see much
Mm-hmm.
play. Uh, that's really the breakpoint for locations. Is that damage point. Now there are some locations that do see play that have lower than 4 or 6 willpower, but they come out much earlier, so they can stick around for
Mm-hmm.
a few turns and do their thing.
Before Maui's able to
Yeah,
draw.
but this basically comes out the turn Maui's going to come out later. Like if you're on the play, then you could get this for a turn, but if you're on the draw, Maui's coming out the next turn.
Right. That makes sense.
All right, and then next we have this is one of my favorite cards to ask about. We have
Donald.
Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman. He's a 4 ink inkable, 2/5. You can shift him for 3, and his ability is Allow Me. At the start of your turn, each player may draw a card.
The start of your turn. So you get an extra card
So it is optional.
per draw.
So both players have the choice. So at the start of your
Oh.
turn, you draw a card, and then for Donald, you can each decide to draw a card. If you say no, your opponent can still draw their card. Or not.
I mean, I like this card. Got 5 defense, but a 4 drop.
Mm-hmm. The ability is going to be the selling point on Donald here, is whether or not you think this ability is any good.
I'd probably say, without knowing, like, there may be something better you'd want to play in this situation, but I'd say probably like a 6. Anything to get hand advantage is probably decent.
So yeah, that's probably about right. Donald's probably about a 6 or a 7. The thing with Emerald is Emerald likes to discard your cards. So I'm sure you remember Bucky. We talked about
Uh-huh.
Bucky before the thing because you saw Bucky earlier on a video you were watching. I don't know if Donald's going to be any good going forward because Bucky was just basically. So they did a. Lorcana did an errata which changed like everything on Bucky. It changed his ink cost. It changed his abilities. Like it was basically like an OTA update on like a paper card, which makes no sense to me. But now because there's not as much discard, Donald might not see play. But beforehand, it didn't matter if your opponent was drawing a card, an extra card, because you were just going to make them discard it anyways. So a lot of
I'm
times
with that.
they just opted to not draw the card because they were just going to end up discarding it. So you would get a free card draw and they wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
all right. So, yeah, he's fairly strong
yeah, he's
in
pretty
his.
good. He wasn't like an auto. He wasn't like an auto include in that deck. He was more of like a tech card, like a one or two of. But yeah, he
Right.
he did see some play in that card, in that deck rather.
Awesome.
All right, what do we got next here? Let's see. Oh man, this is my favorite card. All right, let me find him here in my files. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Bruno. This is Bruno Madrigal. He is a 4 ink 3/3 evasive. So now we're onto our amethyst ink. We just came from our emerald inks. This
Mm-hmm.
only characters with evasive can challenge this character, so he's kind of hard to hit, but that's not going to be the selling point of Bruno. The big thing about Bruno is his ability. You just have to see it. You can exert him and name a card, then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's the named card, put that card into your hand and gain 3 lore. Otherwise, leave it on the top of your deck.
Well, judging by if I feel like this is the way I think it's gonna be, there's something in their archetype that allows them to choose what their top card's gonna be.
Not usually.
No?
Yeah, I mean, there's not
So
really a
you're
thing that's
definitely so this is definitely more of a guessing game.
for the most part.
Okay. So when you're saying the name of the card, do you need to have, say, Bruno Madrigal, undetected uncle, or just Bruno Madrigal in
Yeah, it would
this
have to
example?
be the undetected uncle.
Okay. Hmm. 3 lore off of it,
Yep. And there's only 4 copies of each card in your deck, like any other card game.
and it's 60 cards.
At a minimum, you can have more.
Okay. I mean, you get to see the top card in your deck regardless.
Yep.
It's a 4 drop, three
Yep.
three. Oh, man, I'm gonna say 7.
7.
I like it.
Let me show you another card and see if that changes your mind. Let's do this. I'm gonna show you another card here. This is Puppy, Dalmatian Puppy Tail Wagger.
I know this deck. I know this deck.
So you may have up to 99 copies of Dalmatian Puppy Tail Wagger in your deck.
Yes, I know exactly what this is. I saw someone on Twitter have 99 hollow copies of this card.
Yeah.
That's so sick. I
Does that
totally spit. So you'd have this card plus this dude.
you wouldn't have like 99 of them. You'd have more like
That is
40.
that is awesome.
So is Bruno still a 7?
It's a 12. I love it.
He's more like a 2.
I love it though. I'd still do this.
Dude,
I would do this every day of
I'm
my
not gonna
life.
lie to you.
Just
This
for
deck is
the meme.
so awesome. I love it. It's not very
Oh
good,
my
but
god,
the man
it's
is
so
it
cool.
fun.
Right, that's all I care about. It's so dope.
Like if you go back and watch like the Fort Worth Lorcana challenge stream, someone plays this on stream like round 3 or 4, and it is
Okay.
like they get bodied, but man, it's fun just to watch them play it because it's just puppy after puppy after
Right,
puppy.
that's all it's about. It's for the memes. And at this point, I'm old. That is awesome. I
Yeah,
love it. Yes, for the memes, Madrigal is a 12.
yeah.
But yeah, I can see why that's not a good card because,
Like
like, it's just hard to make that work. But
this card would do very well at locals. I think this deck would do amazing at like locals. If you're just going to locals just to play around at like at leagues and stuff, I think this deck is competitive. It's only like the bigger tournaments where you get the a lot of people going for the best meta decks that you won't see success in
right,
this.
because then you just can't really, like, cheese out
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. This deck it's competitive. It's just not like it's like a tier 4 deck.
Plus, why would you not want to play that? That's so cool.
I know. Look at those puppies, man. They're awesome.
I know, like, plus 99 of them. Let's get real. That's so cool.
All right.
I love it.
All right. Next one is we're gonna do Madam M Snake.
I just press the wrong button.
Yep, she is a 2 ink
Mm.
inkable 3/3. Her ability is just you wait. When you play this character, you have to banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. And she quests
This
for
is
1 lore.
that's an 8.
That's an 8.
Yeah.
even with returning a card to your hand.
Well, I mean, like in my opinion, coming from where I play, that's a good ability to bounce back to your hand.
It is. Yeah, okay. So Yu-Gi-Oh does a lot of hand bouncing, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's our favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to remember Yu-Gi-Oh players don't show them the snakes or the foxes, but yeah, it's busted. Um there's certain cards like even if like okay, so if you're in an aggro matchup, you could play your one drop, then you can snake on 2, bring that one drop back to your hand and then just ink it. To make sure to keep
Yeah.
this because this body, this 2/3/3 is well above curve. And
Mm-hmm.
then in the
For
slower,
that stage of the game.
yeah, and then the slower matchups, you can bounce stuff that have abilities like Merlin Rabbit. Every time he comes into play and leaves play, you draw a card. So you play the rabbit,
Oh,
draw a
great.
card. You return the rabbit, draw a card. So the Madam Mims and the Merlins synergize together that way. And then in other matchups, you could just tempo her out on 2, and she's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
like that card.
I gotta remember, you Yu-Gi-Oh players don't show you the Mims.
Yeah, don't show us bounce cards. We like, oh, that's a good one.
All right. What are we gonna do next here? Ah, that's right. Let me make sure I changed my card out real quick here. I did not. Okay, 1 second. I was gonna show you a card. I'm gonna show you a different card than I showed all the other people. Okay. All right. This is Cogsworth, Grandfather Clock. It is a 5 ink inkable 2/5, and now we're on to our Sapphire cards. He could shift in for 3. He's got Ward, which means characters cannot choose him except to challenge. He quests for 2 lore, and he's got an ability Unwind. Your other characters gain resist +1, which means damage dealt to them is reduced by 1.
Yeah, this is a good dude. I'll say this is a 7. No,
7,
6.5.
6.5,
Just because of the 5, because he's a 5 drop.
5 drop. So he thinks he's a little expensive.
Just a little maybe slow to
Okay.
get that resist out, but that's all.
Okay. Cogsworth is probably like an 8. He's very, very good. The reason is his resist and ward. He's
Mm-hmm.
super hard to interact with. When he comes down on the board, you can't use removal to deal with him. Removal's very good
Right,
in
you
this
have to
game, by the
body
way.
him.
Yeah, you can't choose him with removal. And then your other characters on the board become harder to kill. And that 1 damage matters because like the math gets thrown off a lot. So if
Right,
you're like
math is huge. That's why like Maui is better in that sense because the math is just better, and so like I'm with you. So like
yeah,
if you were to play Cogsworth, you wouldn't want Maui in that drink. You'd be like, dang, I wish I had a
Hercules.
Hercules right now. No,
Yeah.
Hercules sucks.
Well, yeah, it's like, and Beast is a 2/5, right? A 3/5. I can't put a
Hmm.
5 damage into him to take care of him. Like there's a damage spell called Along Came Zeus, which does exactly 5 damage. If Cogsworth is out,
Hmm.
I can't use that on Beast because now
I
it's
can't
only
do
4.
that.
So it definitely
So you'd have
throws the
to break.
calculations off.
Right. So yeah, he's a very good card. So
All right.
is the 5 drop an okay like? Hmm. How quick? Like, I guess the reasons why I'm like hesitant on the 5 drops is because it feels like it's like a wouldn't be able to get it out to like turn 4 or 5. Is that not too slow in that
Well,
sense?
I mean, against aggro decks, maybe. But I mean, you can mulligan for other removal tools to kind of deal with aggro. But
Okay.
yeah, 5 drops aren't necessarily too slow. 5 drops generally come out
Okay.
in just about every game.
Sweet. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, but it is like at the upper edge of like like characters that cost more than 5 generally don't see a ton of play. But yeah. All right. Next up is all right. This is the last one we're going to show you today, and this is Lucky Dime.
Yeah.
So this is an item card. This is the first item you've seen today. Basically, it's like a an enchantment or artifact from Magic the Gathering. It stays
Okay.
on the board forever or until it's removed. And then they have abilities. So, for example, this one is you exert it for and pay 2 ink. You could choose a character of yours and gain lore equal to their lore, and it is 7 ink uninkable.
Oh wow. So this is a 7 drop.
Yep, 7 ink, and
With
it's
an 11,
uninkable.
but as a one of, I don't. Without knowing a lot about how easily we can like get through our deck to see our like our one of tech cards like push. I'd probably say like a 4 at this
Okay.
stage.
Yeah. Do you think it's just too slow? Like, what are you thinking on why is it a 4?
Yeah, too slow, uninkable,
Okay.
and just yeah.
So
Well,
Lorcana has yet to ban a card. However, if they were gonna ban a card, it would probably be Lucky Dime. This card is cracked. It is incredibly good for a few reasons. One is blue is the color of ramp. So 7 ink for blue is like turn 4. So
okay.
it's coming down on turn 4. And then the other thing is in Lorcana, there's no haste, right? So you can't play a card and then hit your opponent's life totals or gain lore.
Mm-hmm.
With Lucky Dime, you
You
can
can.
you can and there's no interaction from your opponent on your turn. So for example, if I played a card, I would have to wait till my next turn to quest with it and gain the lore, which means you would have a chance to interact with it. With Lucky Dime in play, I could just play it, use my Lucky Dime, and gain the lore right
All
away.
right, and this is from the moment you cast this. You said it's on board, and you can redo this every turn,
You could do it every
right?
turn, right? So there's a
Oh
card
yeah,
called
okay,
Tamatoa, which gains lore for every item you have in play. So if you have like 6 items in play, which is very easy for blue because they got a lot of one-cost items, you
okay.
play the Tamatoa, you use the Lucky Dime, you gain like 8 lore on the turn you played them. And
Oh
there's
my
there's
god,
there's like nothing your opponent can do about it. So if blue gets to like 10, 11, 12 lore, you basically just
pretty
realize
much
like
game.
you probably have to win the game like right away or you're going to lose the game.
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, so that's their time bomb, huh? Okay.
Essentially, yeah. Uh, this card is probably going to be banned at some point. I would assume so. Like it's just because you can't interact on your opponent's turn. It just feels bad to keep losing to Lucky Dime. It's like, oh, there's Lucky Dime. I guess I have 2 turns to live because it's
That's
just it happens.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Wow,
those are all the cards I have for you today. How likely would you
those
say you
are
are to play
awesome.
Lorcana before after this video than you were before?
Well, before I was probably at a 6 anyway, because it looked really like just easily to pick up and fun.
Hmm.
And now probably closer to an 8 or 9. Just because now I'm really interested to see how everything like kind of interacts. Just way I thought of what good cards are, you know. So
Yeah,
very interesting, and the cards look pretty decent.
yeah, the art on these cards is incredible, and like there's enchanteds too. Like if you Google like enchanted, Google enchanted Mufasa afterwards. That card is
Hmm.
gorgeous. I'll even I'll even message you a picture of it. That card is gorgeous. The enchanteds look great. Art is insane, and the game is actually a lot of fun.
It looks cool. Plus, it's like it it's really easily probably accessible to like younger kids because obviously it's Disney movies. So
Yeah, my kids
that's
all
really
play it.
cool. Yeah. I've really been wanting to figure out a way to get my kids into card games, and you'd think he'd want to play Pokemon,
Yeah.
but he does not care.
How old are yours now?
My boy is 7 and my little girl is 2.
Okay, well
But
she's too young. But
yeah.
seven's right around that age. I have a 10-year-old that's just started to be like, hey, I want to play card games with you. So maybe in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
I guess I'm just antsy.
my daughter was like 7 or 8 when I brought her to cities for Pokemon, and she top forward that.
Yeah.
So
I think she definitely will be more. She's definitely a daddy's girl, so she'll probably be into it way faster than he is. So
yeah, now you just
we're hoping anyway.
got to get the wife on board with the card games, and then it's a
I
family thing.
know. That's what I'm hoping Lorcana for, because she loves Disney. I'll
Yeah,
play her, get her a Moana deck.
I
Doesn't
don't.
need to be good, just playable.
I mean, there's Moana cards that you can like. You could build her like Ruby Amethyst and like play Maui
Hmm. Yeah.
and the Flynn Riders and
Okay.
stuff and the Sisu's like Sisu's in that deck. Merlins and stuff are in there.
Ooh, Merlin. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool deck. All right, man. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for joining us. I'll have
Awesome.
to. I'm gonna put together another round of videos when we do set 5 cards, and I'll bring you back on for that one. We'll look at all the cards from set
Awesome.
5.
Thank you. I will be looking forward to that. This was fun.